Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew, and I'm an alcoholic, and we want to welcome you to this platform here today, regardless of what your addiction may be. You are welcome here. We support multiple pathways to recovery. We want this program to work for you. If you're watching this through our Recovery Classroom Facebook group page, encourage you to share your own experience, strength, and hope, and your own words of wisdom. You never know who needs to hear what it is you have to say, and it could just change somebody's life, including your own. I want to peel back another layer of the onion. The last couple days we've been talking a lot about fear. The other day we talked about how fear is perfectly natural. Our bodies are perfectly equipped to handle fear, but our brains, not so much. And yesterday we talked about the one fear that every single person has experienced at one point in time or another, the fear of change. Everybody throughout all of human history has experienced the fear of change. And that's what I want to get into. Why are we so afraid of change? Simply put, it exposes vulnerabilities about who we are. I'll say that again. It exposes vulnerabilities about who we are. Give an example. I was always very insecure. I didn't like myself. I never felt worthy, never felt good enough. I had all these character defects that I just didn't want to deal with. And so my brain came up with these coping mechanisms, right? And the coping mechanism was actually a bulldozer or a backhoe, and it would just dig a big hole in the ground and bury them. That's what my brain did. Your brain may have done the same thing, right? You realize these character defects that you don't like, and so we bury them. And well, when we're forced to change, that exposes it, that uncovers them. But what happens is, for me anyway, I buried these character defects, and over time, my brain forgot that these character defects were buried deep, deep, deep in the ground. And lo and behold, I started building a structure on top of this very poorly laid foundation. The structure was called my life. Right? And I built a structure, and lo and behold, over time, cracks started developing in my structure. Now, keep in mind, the cracks developing in my structure, that was not my drinking. See, my drinking was a symptom, all right? Not my problem, but a symptom of my problem. The problem was in my foundation. What was causing those cracks in my structure was my foundation. The drinking, well, hell, I just see the crack, and I'm like, well, I'll worry about it tomorrow. Take a drink. You may have done the same thing with drugs, all right? The drinking and the drugging is just a symptom. But what would happen is my structure would eventually come down. My drinking and my drugging would eventually bring my entire structure down. So what I do is I clear away the rubble and rebuild again on the same foundation where the last structure came down. And sure enough, that second time, the structure would keep coming back down. So time and time again, I'd rebuild the structure and it'd keep coming back down, because I never got into the foundation, because I didn't want to expose it. I didn't want to change anything, right? I just I couldn't rationalize it. I couldn't figure out why my structure kept falling back down time and time again. And that's the beauty of step 4. See, step 4 requires us to clear away the rubble and start digging into the foundation. Clearing the shit, all these character defects out of the foundation. When we're forced to change, we're forced to face the very things that we thought we buried down deep, that we wouldn't have to look at again. And that's the beautiful thing about step 4. Step 4, especially step 4 fears, it gets us to confront. The fear of change forces us to become vulnerable, and we don't like to be vulnerable. We don't want to be perceived as being weak or shy or insecure. For me, we didn't want to be perceived by others as having these character defects, so we buried them, and then we try to build on top of it, and lo and behold, it come back down time and again for years. The same cycle, right? Building on top of the same foundation. And this time, when I came into the rooms of AA and I started working the steps with a qualified sponsor, I was able to clear away the rubble, dig down into that foundation, and go, oh, this has been my problem all along. And that's what I want to encourage you today. The fear of change, it doesn't have to be scary. Matter of fact, when I cleared away that foundation, I dug into that foundation, I cleared all that rubble away, and I looked, these are my character defects? Well, hell, let's get rid of them. Let's throw them in the dumpster over there. We can use fear. We can use fear to move us forward. We can use fear. We can say, okay, these are the things I have to deal with that I haven't been wanting to deal with. These are the things that I forgot about that I needed to deal with. We can leverage fear to actually work in our favor. And that's the message I want to give to you today. It's natural, perfectly natural to see something, especially when it comes to change. We don't like change, right? Because it exposes vulnerabilities. When we see those vulnerabilities, let's fix them. Let's address them. Let's clear them out of our foundation so we can start rebuilding the life that God intended for us to have. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a kick-ass day. We're down here in North Carolina, beautiful North Carolina. We're getting ready for a game at 8:30 this morning. It's a really early game, but that's all right. So in the meantime, guys, if you need anything, you can reach out to us through the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page. You can message us right through there. You can message or email me directly, drew@soberschool.org. Or admin@soberschool.org. Either any one of those three ways will absolutely work. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. I hope you have a kick-ass day, a kick-ass weekend. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take the first drink.